Hey, welcome to How to Infuse. Today we're going to take a look at changing the O2 sensor. We've been getting a P2096 code about a lean mixture situation on these cars. There are multiple oxygen sensors. Sometimes you just have one. In this case there are at least 4, probably additional ones further down the line, that measure the mixture of exhaust gases before the catalytic converter and after the catalytic converter, and depending on how those two interact, you can get different codes. So we are getting a front first bank code, which means it's one side of the engine. In this case it's going to be the front, where there are 2 oxygen sensors. 3 basic possible reasons for this code. First could be that the first oxygen sensor is misreading the fuel mixture level, and it's not matching up with the second one, therefore triggering a code. It could be that the second O2 sensor is bad and it's not matching with the first one, or there could be a leak because there's kind of a bend in the exhaust at that point that uses a, on this model anyway, that uses a flexible exhaust pipe. Your vehicle may be a little different. It may have gaskets or whatnot, but if there is a leak anywhere allowing air to get in there, then there's also going to be an inconsistency in the readings between the exhaust gases at that point. So essentially 3 possible causes. There are some other causes. If you have some faulty injectors that's actually not giving enough fuel, then you could possibly be getting lean mixtures, or possibly too rich codes. There's a bunch of different codes. With a code reader you can read that code and then Google that code, and you'll get some generic troubleshooting guides as to what the possibility could be. So there are expensive ways to test these sensors before you replace them, but we don't have access to that. So we're going to start with the front oxygen sensor. In this situation, I did inspect the exhaust. I don't see what appears to be any damage or any possible air leaks. So we're moving to the O2 sensor, and we are changing the cheaper one and the easier one to change the front one first. So let's take a look at that. Alright, so here's our direct fit O2 sensor. And direct fit just means that it has the plug on the end that goes for this vehicle. You can get cheaper versions where you change these plugs. It comes with like 3 or 4 different ones. You change it, but for a few bucks more, I like the OEM replacement. It comes with a protective cap for the sensor. I don't think it's that crucial. You don't want to get like grease on there, because that's going to affect the reading. I don't think your fingers are going to be an issue, but we're going to go ahead and treat this as being a sensitive component, and we're going to try not to touch that as we install it, so that we don't contaminate it with any finger oils, body oils, or grease and oil from the work area. So we'll put this away for the meantime, and now let's check out and see if we can find that O2 sensor and remove it. One thing I will mention is that usually you need a special socket for this. Given the fact that it has a wire in it, there's a special socket that allows this wire to kind of hang out the side while you turn it in. I do not have that socket, so hopefully we'll be able to do this without it. But if you're trying this repair, I would go ahead and rent that socket from your auto parts store, so that this job will be a little bit easier for you than it will be for me. Alright, freehanding the camera, here we can see the O2 sensor. Screws into the top of the exhaust here. And I am really regretting not getting the proper socket at this point. We may take a ride to the store. And we have our plug here. A few other hoses and things in the way. It looks like, alright, let's see, let me get this in the right spot. Alright, so it looks like this might be the best angle. Looks like there is a release clip here. It'd be nice if that just popped out. Alright, and it did. That looks like a lock. And let's see if there is a clip involved. Looks like there is also alright, having removed the cover, we have much better access now to the plug. Alright, according to what I'm seeing here, after the safety pin, this tab should just kind of move up, allowing the plug to clip out. And there we go. Plug's released. Now what we're hoping for is that that O2 sensor is not seized up in there, and that we will be able to put a wrench on it to remove it, as opposed to getting the usually required socket. Alright, we are back from the auto parts store. Now the engine is nice and hot from having to use this car, and we have rented the little socket I was telling you about for the O2 sensor, because it was impossible to remove the old O2 sensor with just a wrench. So this is the proper size. This happens to be 7/8, and then we've got a set of extensions, and we will put that over the O2 sensor and then utilize a ratchet to remove it. So let's do that now. Alright, so here's our setup. Socket on the O2 sensor, extensions and ratchet up top. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen it. Alright, so here we go. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see in there, but I don't know that that's really where the action is anyway. Whew. Alright, so let's hope that that was a loosening of the O2 sensor and not a breaking of the tools. Be nice if I could convince that tool to lift up without dropping it, because I'm sure it's hot on that exhaust. Alright, let's put all our tools out of the area, and now we will use the wrench. It is in fact loose. It's very loose. I can almost appears I can twist it. I'm touching the plastic cord now, twisting it. Well, not coming quite as fast as I thought. There we go. Alright. So, old O2 sensor out. I'm going to try to get that new one in there as quick as possible. It does have a Bosch number, so hopefully we're going OEM. Grab the new one, which temporarily is going to be a little bit cooler than the old one. And I'm going to try to get that in there as quick as possible, because I don't want anything else, dust, etc., to fall in there and possibly clog the catalytic converter. Alright, so here we're looking at the new one. I just hand screwed it in, so I'm sure it's not cross-threaded. We'll now put the socket back on and give it a nice tightening, and then reattach the plug, and we should be ready to go. Alright, we have the socket already on there. I'm going to move it a little bit because I don't like how the wrench is interfering with this plug. Switch the direction on my ratchet and give it a nice tightening. I'm sure there's a torque setting. You should look that up and use a torque wrench, but I have a built-in torque wrench. Remove our socket, and now we will plug our plug back in. I know you can see that, but I'll show it to you in a minute. Alright, so there's our plug, and then we have this little keyway lock that somehow slides in here. I should probably look first. Alright. Looks like it slides in right here. It's not cooperating. Alright, I'm going to need 2 hands. And there we go, with 2 hands, easy enough to put the safety pin back in place, and we are all set. I'm gonna get these vacuum hoses all back orientated the way they go. Now I'll put this cap back on, remove the oil filler. Just a hint, do not put this in the sun while you're resting it. Alright, we should be good to go. Just remove the tools from the hood. Alright, last thing we're going to do is remove the error codes. There might be additional codes now because we did drive the car with the O2 sensor disconnected, but we're just going to clear them all and we should be good to go. Alright, that's it. Alright, so that's it. That's how you work on a PE 2096 code if you're getting that engine on your GM car, or how you change an O2 sensor on your car. General Motors, but just about every car is similar. I'm not going to try to tell you that that definitely cured the 2097 or 2096 code, because those codes can sometimes take days, if not a week or two, before they represent themselves. So hopefully that did solve the issue. If not, then likelihood is that it's that second O2 sensor that's a little harder to get to on the bottom. Also costs quite a bit more. Alright, so hopefully there won't be another O2 sensor video on this car, but if it happens that we get that code again, then there probably will be another video. So hopefully that helped you out. If so, give me a thumbs up, because that goes a long way to promote the video. As far as the ranking goes, when people search for this type of help, my videos don't get revisited because it's not really entertainment, so I'm counting on being found for this particular problem, and usually people only watch the video once, thereby limiting my views. But I do appreciate you watching. Give me a thumbs up, go ahead and click the subscribe, share it if somebody else needs help on a similar problem, etc. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.